everyone, and welcome back to This is the Review, my weekly Mandalorian recap and review series. Today I will be discussing the first episode of The Mandalorian Season 2 titled The Marshal. And boy, was it an amazing episode. I'll be running down all the Easter eggs and connections that we discovered in this episode. I'll talk about some theories on what I think will happen next and go over some of what you guys had to say about this episode. But before we get started, I have two quick things to discuss. First, this episode of This is the Review is sponsored by Darth Vader. No, seriously, Darth Vader. I've had the honor of working with Spencer Wilding and his family in assisting him with building up awareness to their online store where they will be selling signed photos of Spencer. And for those that might not know, Spencer Wilding was one of the actors who portrayed Darth Vader physically in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. That's him in the suit. He's like the new David Prowse. Make sure you go show him some love and support on @SpencerWilding merchandise. Vader wasn't the only role he played. The second thing I wanted to mention was my Baby Yoda yarn doll giveaway. It will be extended for 2 more weeks. Details on how to enter will be shared at the end, so stick around. Alright, so The Mandalorian Chapter 9, The Marshal. Let's get one thing right off the bat. Spoilers. This is your one and only warning. Spoilers. The rumors were true. Tamora Morrison is back in action, this time playing the iconic bounty hunter from the original trilogy. The character has officially survived the Sarlacc pit. How exactly? We don't know yet. But this episode may have hinted at it. Let's run through some of the Easter eggs as quick as possible. We begin the season with Mando and the child strolling through a dark graffiti-filled town, being stalked by some terrifying creatures dwelling in the dark. The graffiti we see in the walls is all anti-imperial. We see lots of stormtroopers and what might be Darth Vader images, and Arabic text reading, "No more, you will learn, killer, and Alderaan." And also, what looks to be a protocol droid that kinda looks like C-3PO. And over here, there's a Toydarian. A Cayuzo, man, I butchered that. Similar to Constable Zuvio and Embo from the Clone Wars can be seen here. This character named Gor Koresh is played by John Leguizamo. I am so sorry if I mispronounced that. Gore says here that he swears by the Gatra, which could be a reference to the droid Gatra during the Clone Wars. Over here we see R5-D4 from A New Hope. We can see the scorch marks from his bad motivator.
This R2 unit has a bad motivator, look!
Hey, what are you trying to push on us?
The Tatooine town of Mos Pelgo disappears from the Tatooine map, similar to how Kamino was removed from the galaxy map in Attack of the Clones. Jingle Fett. Boba Fett. Anyways, Mos Pelgo's first ever Star Wars appearance was actually in Knights of the Old Republic. This bartender is a Weequay, the same species as Hondo Anaka from the Clone Wars, and who we see in live action form if you visit Batuu. Timothy Oliphant debuts on the show playing the character of Cobb Vanth, who first appeared in the Star Wars Aftermath book trilogy in 2015. The character's backstory is pretty much exactly how it was set up in the books. It's great to see characters from the novels make it into live action. Cobb is wearing the armor of Boba Fett, which is seen badly damaged due to the Sarlacc that Boba fell into the last we saw him. The town is attacked by a crate dragon, the same species we see the skeleton of in A New Hope. The sound of the dragon here is very similar to Obi-Wan's original crate dragon, how he uses in A New Hope to ward off the Tuskens from Luke. Cobb's speeder is made from a pod racer engine that looks extremely similar to Anakin Skywalker's pod from the Phantom Menace. We see a holo recording of the second Death Star exploding from Return of the Jedi, and the text on the bottom says, "Little does Luke know the Empire has completed construction on a new armored space station, even more powerful than the first dreaded Death Star. These are the exact words from the opening crawl of Return of the Jedi. This scene right here is a direct reference to the first Iron Man movie, directed by Jon Favreau, who also directs this show, and specifically this first episode. Now, these little creatures here are called mastiffs, and they're a species that first appeared accompanying Tusken Raiders in Attack of the Clones. They also show up in the Clone Wars. The black melon that Tuskens offered to Cobb is mentioned by Obi-Wan in the 7th issue of the main Star Wars comic run. These binoculars are the same ones from Season 1, Chapter 5 that belong to Toro that Mando gave away to the Tuskens. We see that the back of Boba's jetpack is repaired with a piece of metal here, probably because Han Solo hit it and caused Boba to fly off and fall into the Sarlacc pit. Later, we see Mando hit the jetpack himself and cause Cobb Vanth to fly off out of control. Man, this jetpack sucks. Over here, we see Tuskens traveling in single file to hide their numbers, just like Obi-Wan says they do in A New Hope. They plan to kill the dragon in the same way you do in Knights of the Old Republic. And after the dragon is dead, we see a Tusken fighting a Crate Pearl, a very rare and valuable item on Tatooine that can also be used in place of a kyber crystal to power lightsabers. Fun fact. Then, finally at the very end, we see the man himself, Boba Fett. He survived the Sarlacc, which of course was hinted to considering Jawa's had his armor. Based on his appearance, I predict that Boba Fett is living among the Tusken Raiders. He's certainly dressed like one. He's got all the weapons of a Tusken Raider. Maybe he was there among them the whole time. I predict that part of Boba's survival is thanks to the Krayt Dragon. In this episode, it is mentioned that the dragon is living in an abandoned Sarlacc pit. Mando implies that the dragon ate the Sarlacc.
There's no such thing as an abandoned Sarlacc pit.
There is if you eat the Sarlacc.
So what if the Sarlacc that got eaten was the one that Boba falls into, and because of that he's able to escape? We do see Mando's armor covered in the dragon's acid, and it's totally fine. Meanwhile, Boba Fett's armor is really badly corroded, but still in one piece, mostly. That might be how he escaped. Who knows? My theory for the next episode tomorrow is we will see Boba confront Mando as a fake ally. Honestly, that's all I have for a prediction for the next episode. I'm mainly just excited to go on this adventure wherever it goes. Now, on to what you guys had to say about this episode. I got lots of comments on Instagram about this episode, and nearly every reaction was overwhelmingly positive. According to my last episode, I did say that you can send me a DM about your predictions for season 2. So here's what Jago Robbins had to say. Now that Boba Fett is back, chapter 10 will be him reclaiming his armor. I think he will team up with Mando, but will then betray him. I think that Ahsoka Tano will tie into the show, as if Mando is looking for the Jedi, then Ahsoka has great knowledge of the Jedi and could help. I think Ahsoka and Cara Dune will team up and make a really good duo. Thank you, Jago, for the DM. And guys, if you want to be featured on the show, just shoot me a DM of your thoughts and predictions on season 2, and I'll pick one person to feature right here on the show. It could be a message or a quick video. Alright, now on to the giveaway details. Once again, I'm giving away this adorable Baby Yoda custom yarn doll. Look at it, it is precious. All you have to do to enter is make sure you're following me on Instagram and join my Facebook group. Here it is, that's what it looks like. Join it on Facebook, and I want you to post what your reaction was to seeing Boba Fett in this episode and hashtag it with Yarn Baby Yoda. That's all you gotta do, and you can be entered to win this Baby Yoda. It's custom made and it's adorable. I can't say that enough. It's adorable. I'll pick one person at random. Good luck. And that's the end of this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the next episode of The Mandalorian, and I'll see you next week for This is the Review. May the Force be with you.